Oh, we get what we deserve. And we're down.
My name's Bob Burtner. My wife's name's Katrina. We have two kids, Kylie and Douglas. And we've been members here at Hill Country for close to 6 years, I want to say. Came to Texas 10 years ago, out in California. In my early 20s, I'd gotten several drunk drivings and did a lot of jail time, did a lot of stuff like that. And I haven't had a driver's license. I hadn't when I came to Texas in 19 years. We came out here, stayed with a friend, got into some more trouble. I was still drinking, started going to church, got into some more trouble. It wasn't until I admitted to God and to myself that I was an alcoholic that I started to get better. Finally quit drinking November 4th of 2007. I've had people in my truck driving around and they're saying go left and go right and I'm breaking all these traffic laws. Well, the problem with all that is that I didn't have a driver's license. So when I'm driving around with these people, I'm worried. You know, these are potential investors in my business, and I'm worried that if I got pulled over, you know, they'd see me get thrown on the hood of the truck, asked all these questions and stuff, and I go up to Lampasas. I buy a truck from somebody here in the church. I started having problems with the truck, and I took it back, and they figured out what was wrong with it, and Brian tells me, Bob, just take that 2016 4x4 out there, you go on home, and I'll call you when your truck's done. And as I'm pulling out of the parking lot, I'm thinking, man, there's no dealer plates on this thing, there's no stickers. If I get pulled over, this is all bad. This is all bad. I knew I had to do something about it. And what happened was when I left California 10 years ago, I had 3 driving on a suspended licenses. I never went to court for them, so there was warrants out for my arrest. My wife Katrina and I made some plans to go out to California and take care of these driving on a suspendeds, which could carry up to a year in jail. You know, so here I have this business here, I'm doing good, I'm building houses, and I could lose it all, really, you know. But it's hard to walk around and be this good person and this you know, Christian, and knowing that every day I walked out the door and got in my truck, I was breaking the law. Every single day I was breaking the law, and then it could cost me everything. So here's the deal. I'm pretty worried about it, and I have a lot of good friends. And I asked these gentlemen, probably 5 of them, to write me letters about my character. So when I went out to court in California, I could show the judge that I was different than I used to be. I felt like what I was doing at the time was I was really trying to be obedient to what God was telling me. God was telling me, go out and take care of it, and you're going to be all right. Even if you go to jail, you're going to be all right. You'll have an opportunity to share the word, share the message. Things are going to be all right. So I got these letters, and we flew out to California with our kids. And so I went down to the DMV. I had Katrina drop me off, and I sat in this California DMV for about 6 hours. And they call my name, and I go up there. It's a young lady, and she goes, Mr. Burtner, those driving on a suspendeds have gone past their statute of limitation. We can't use those against you anymore. And 2 weeks later, I get a release from my license. You know, I deserve to lose my license, without a doubt. But God's grace in all of this, to go out to California, you know, to risk going to jail, to possibly risk the good things I have going on here in Texas. You know, it was a huge leap of faith to hear that Paul's writing a letter to Philemon, and I got J. Paul writing me letters to go to California. I mean, there's some similarities there. I was never afraid of going to jail. I've been there plenty. I wasn't afraid to go to jail. I was afraid for my family, for my kids, for my church family. You know, hey, what do you mean Bob Burtner's in jail? You know, can you imagine? I didn't do this by myself, by no stretch of the imagination. It's all my friends, the elders in my life, Bill Ecton, my peers, J. Paul, Brett Walker, all these guys. You know, I felt like I would have been letting them down. You know, even though everybody goes, oh, it's all right, Bob, we understand. You know, in the back of your mind, you get, what the heck is this guy doing? Well, here's what makes it all worth it. All those fears, things that are not from God, all those lies, all that stuff I was believing in my head, none of it was true. I'm not afraid of my past. It doesn't define me. Trying to share with people what God can do in your life if you just surrender. You know, it's so hard to be willing these days, willing to give up that old life. Well, the first bit of advice I'd give to somebody, number one, I'd pray and pray and pray and pray. And I'd seek counsel in it. You know, we all got hang-ups, man. We all do. And if you feel like God's speaking to you and telling you need to go in a certain direction, just verify that. Just verify it through prayer. Get on your knees. And He'll give you the answers you need to do what it is you feel He's calling you to do. What God's done, His grace in my life, what He's shown me is, to be obedient to Him. He's got me. I got victory in all this.